Welcome to a very merry special edition of Beyond the Screen. Merry Christmas, everybody. It is the official week. Santa's coming, man. And I'm so look at I grew antlers. It's a great time to be alive. We have a cool border and ears. I hear a lot.
You're not wearing your headphones, right?
Yeah, I am. I can hear it.
Anyway. Not on your ears.
It is a great week here at Beyond the Screen. We have a very fun edition of the show for you guys. We're going to, as we always do every year around Christmas, we have a review special to where we pick one way or another to find cool and unique films to watch. So last year we did our three each most underrated. This year we're doing more niche. I think we can still lean into the underrated, but really it's about, have you heard of it? Would you have thought about it? Yeah. Would you have thought about it? Probably not. But we are trying to tell you today that you should think of these during the holiday season because they are fun and they are set during the time. So we're going to give you two films. That is going to be our main topic of discussion today. But as always, we start with our box office. That is our first segment. And we're going to start with how we did last week because usually we don't do very good. And this week is no exception. So how we did last week in terms of our predictions, I predicted Fire and Ash coming in 1, SpongeBob's new movie, Search for SquarePants at 2nd, David at 3, the religious animation film about, you guessed it, David and Goliath, 4th being Zootopia 2, and 5th being Marty Supreme because it released, but they didn't say what it would be, and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And then Jake predicted the same as me for the top 2, Avatar, Fire and Ash, and then SpongeBob's The Search for SquarePants. Then his 3rd was Zootopia, 4th was Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and 5th was The Wicked for Good film that we all know and love. So Jake was going this is just everything we've seen falling down because they're still...
I thought it was a safe route.
It is a very safe route. And usually that is very successful. And I went more of a shoot things randomly and hope that they stick. And we both finished with 1. We both finished with 1 out of 5. Did not do the best this week. Also, Jimmy got 1 out of 5 again. So we have not been outperformed by the bot. But I will say, we did a test, Jake and I did. And Jake, tell the audience at home who won the box office of the AI and us.
With a shot in the dark, Grok got 2 out of 5.
I hate it so much.
So because Jim and I chose ChatGPT's same lineup, it also got 1 out of 5 like everybody else. But somehow Grok pulled SpongeBob at 4 and had pulled it through in 1. And so my conclusions of this very poor scientific test, because we only did one group and the control was another AI, Grok won, but it's really inconclusive or borderline. It doesn't really matter. AIs don't even know.
Yeah, we remember when we were deciding this, because Jake was the one, it's such a good idea. Jake brought it to the table and we were discussing whether or not it's a viable thing to add to the show. And our worry was we would get blown out every week. The worry was, nah, dude, they're going to pull from the analytics and they're going to pull from the forecasters and we're just going to not have that knowledge. We've done better than the bot these first few weeks. So, and that's including 3 bots. So we feel pretty confident. I think this is a continuously fun event. And we're talking about kind of adding some higher stakes to our prediction specials later. So stick around to find out what we're working through as we continue to develop this project and this fun event in our first segment. But with that is our predictions. We did terrible. Here is the top 5 in order of how they fell this past weekend. The truest form, Avatar, Fire and Ash comes in first. David comes in second. Housemaid, Sydney Sweeney finally hits big in the year of our Lord 2025, coming in third. The SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants at 4, and Zootopia 2 rounds out our top 5. So we're going to go back to the top, and we're going to give you more of those numbers in depth. And with that also includes our story of the weekend. James Cameron does it again, and Fire and Ash officially dominates the box office in its debut, debuting to 88 million domestically and 345 million globally. That 345 million number, that comes just within a shouting distance of the film's purely production value. That does not include marketing numbers and what they had to, or what Disney spent to get the film out into your YouTube and your TV commercials. But the film is almost profitable from a production standpoint after one weekend, and that includes globally. This domestic opening of 88 million also comes short. It falls short of The Way of Water, which opened to 134 million, but more than the original Avatar's 77 million, not counting for inflation. Fire and Ash's 345 million global debut is also behind Way of Water's global debut during the first week, which Way of Water earned 435 million. So we're seeing a slight dip from first to second, but the difference being one had a 13-year, 14-year gap, and the other had a 3-year gap. As pointed out by the Daily's newsletter, across the 3 entries into the Avatar franchise, the film has grossed over $5.6 billion thus far. While an impressive feat, the newsletter continues to point out that, for the franchise, great openings have never been the deciding factor for success, but it stay at the top of the box office, rather. Each of the first 2 entries stayed at number 1 for 7 straight weeks. Jake, can Fire and Ash repeat? And if not, how long, or if so, how long do we think Fire and Ash will hold on to that top spot?
Well, this being Christmas weekend, I don't know if people go to the movies on Christmas. I just don't feel like, me personally, I'm like, oh yeah, let's go watch a movie for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I am planning on doing is going and seeing like the Christmas lights that certain venues put up, and you drive through like at fairgrounds and stuff, like that. I feel like that's what you go out and do on Christmas or around then. So, but maybe people want to go sit down for 3 hours or on a weekend, I feel like we're going to see a dip, but I still think it's going to be at the top. Spoiler for my predictions after this segment, but yeah. I still think it's going to be at the top. I still think it's probably going to be well within that realm of dropping about 40, maybe %. But after that, into the New Year weekend, it's still going to like hold true. It's not going to like dip as much because people probably won't see it this weekend, but they'll go and see it the third weekend.
Yeah.
That's about it, I guess.
I think, but the thing is, what's interesting is your perspective. It's very similar to mine, as in like talking about like fairgrounds or going out and seeing the lights. That is more of a rural thing, though. Like that kind of shows where you're from. Think about like big cities like New York, Chicago, Atlanta, like in these more densely populated areas. They're not really going to have, obviously in New York, you have Rockefeller Plaza with a giant Christmas tree. But are you really going to be going out to see that every single night? The answer is no. So I think in these more densely populated areas, you probably have more of a high option or high concentration of people taking that option of the movies on that weekend. But you're right, though. The whole point of the weekend is staying in, spending time with family. Like you've traveled a lot already in theory. So I think you're right, but I wonder, more curiosity and just playing devil's advocate, how many people do, as like a Christmas tradition, go out on that frame? Because usually the holiday weekends are kind of pencil marked in for distributors because of like Thanksgiving Day weekend, big earners, right? 4th of July, Memorial Day, all big earners. I don't remember so much Christmas being on that list, but is it? I guess is my question. So we will see this time next week, which will be our last episode of the year. Yeah. We did every Monday of a calendar year come next week. So join us as we celebrate a little bit on December 29th as we round out the calendar year 2025 and head into 2026. But anyway, I have moved. A quick... Yeah, bro literally had life happen between when he started and now. But no, a lot of life has happened. I changed jobs.
He got married. Yeah. Anyway, beyond the screen wrapped.
Yeah.
Be determined.
Yeah, but... Going back to Fire and Ash, I have a bit of a complaint, and I'm going to make it very quick and succinct because I don't want to spoil anything and I don't want to run over time because I want us to really spend time on our films. The hate online for this, it's not everybody. It's a very niche film. Podtrack and like Cinema Score post-film reviews by the average fans, people love it. It's got like an A. I think that the Rotten Tomato score for the popcorn meter, I should say, is like a 90%. So people are loving this movie generally, but there are critics who have this as the lowest rated film of the trilogy, and you have online critics. Everyone's a critic, but you have those who cinephiles, self-described, who hate this film, and I do not understand how or why. The critiques are like, it's too much like Way of Water. It's the same movie. I hate Spider. I hate how he was a main character. He's a cornball. Blah, 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 blah. And to some extent, some of those things are right. But here's the deal. One, yes, it's going to have similar beats. James Cameron has said in many interviews that this is a continuation of the same story. Originally, the concept for Way of Water and Fire and Ash were one film that got split into two. So they had to make do. Yes, when one film is split into two, you're still going to have multiple times and multiple instances and same themes that are repeated, right? Secondly, as Pop Culture Brain showed us, which if you don't follow him because he makes such good content about this exact stuff, just going in depth about various pieces of news media and just IPs. He's someone that we use here on the show to kind of break our news to us so that we can talk here. He made a great point. A lot of people are mad about repetition. Star Wars blew up the Death Star twice. Harry Potter fought Voldemort 7 times. You know, it's like, why is the line drawn at Avatar? I really feel like you are pompous, and you, like, if you truly believe that this was a boring experience, I really feel like you were just trying to be different because people like something. I think this is a point blank perfect excuse, or perfect example, I should say, of people hating something because it's popular. Because personally, biased, I think this was the best one of the trilogy. I really think this was the best one in terms of the things that it laid out in the first and the second. To be honest with you, the second felt like another introduction, another original into the franchise, right? Yes, you're continuing the story of Neytiri, Jake Sully, and Quaritch, right? But you are introducing all these kids and new themes. You're developing and showing what the religion that the Na'vi people live by. You're showing, like, you introduce the theory or the ideas of, like, the natural wildlife having as much history and intelligence and their own cultures as the Na'vi do on the surface, right? Under, like, in the water and in the various different animals that roam the Pandora. In the third, that gets explored to the max. You get to see what the religion actually is, what Kiri is, and why she is a thing in terms of what Sigourney Weaver's character in the original, why she's back as a Na'vi. You get to see more of these cultures. You get to see more of that integration and how interconnected each of the life of the wildlife is and the humanity, is what I was going to say, but the Na'vi on the planet, right? You get a further progression of each character, unlike any film thus far, of all of the family. It is such a familial drama, dealing with mourning, dealing with like talking about Sully's never quit, Sully's never give up, your place in the world, right? Like, what makes you different? Because there's a conversation, not so much a spoiler, but there is a conversation of, like, what Neytiri hates humanity, but her kids are half human. They have 5 fingers. Compared to the Na'vi. How does that separate you? How do you accept that, right? These awesome, deep, complex thoughts of family mixed in with this massive lore of this planet that you see interconnect and weave together. It is beautiful. You see, oh my gosh, just a furthering of this just fantastic imagination that James Cameron has. And this explanation, it is so beautiful. It is such an epic in every way of the word. And I cannot stand when I see online these people are like, it was boring. You just went in thinking it was going to be boring, so you made it boring for yourself. You didn't pay attention. Yes, if I sat in a room for 3 hours and 16 minutes, I'd be bored too. You didn't watch it. That's the only explanation. You don't have to love the movie, but to say it's boring, you just didn't watch it. I think it was the Ringers Film Pod said that the Avatar experiment is dead. You didn't watch it. Like, you really, like, what do you mean you're bored of the anyway, another critique I saw was that they didn't get enough of the fire people, which is the main villain. It's played by, actually, fun fact, the main villain is played by Charlie Chaplin's granddaughter. And I'm trying to remember what her name is. Her name is Una Chaplin. Oh yeah, obviously Chaplin, but her character's name, her name is Varang. Varang in the film is such a complex and deep character, right? Like, I love her. She is so scary. She's villainous. And, like, her and Quaritch are a great tandem duo that you see on screen as they threaten the Na'vi and the Sully family. But the thing is, someone complained that they didn't see enough of them. And the next line of text that they included in their comment was, they were only on screen for 1 hour and 6 minutes of the 3-hour, 16-minute film. You saw them for an hour. They were on the screen for an hour. You saw the character for 60 plus minutes. and you didn't get enough. I think that says more about how good the film is. What do you mean you're mad that they weren't on screen more? I made this point to Jake, and I feel like the majority of villains are on screen a third or less of the movie because the film's not about them.
You used an example of the Joker, and I'm gonna say we'll just go with Dark Knight. Right?
Oh, yeah.
You want to know the percentage of time that the Joker was on screen of the Dark Knight?
How much?
There are two different numbers that some estimate that I just pulled straight from Google. 25 minutes and 33 minutes of a 2.5 hour long movie, which makes it 16.4 or 21.7%.
So it's even less of a third. Like that, It boggles my mind because I'm not saying this is perfect. Spider is a cornball. He is. He's 15 in the movie. Most teenagers are cringy. They are. I hate to break it to you guys. Teenagers are not smooth, right? Like, he's not. And there are times where I do feel like they are trying too hard with Spider. That is okay. It's not perfect. But I will say Spider gave the most impactful moment in the entire movie. He really did. I will die on this hill. The hate is absolutely unnecessary. You can not like it, but you can't not like it because of the things that you make up. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just make up a problem that doesn't exist and then say that's why you don't like it. If you don't like it, just say you don't like Jake Sully. Just say you don't find their familial bond and their familial drama that enticing. In that case, I could say, you know what? I respect it. It's not for you. You don't like sci-fi or you don't like fantasy. You're not going to like this movie. Like, that's fine. But don't make up stuff and then say that that's the problem. Because, like, oh, it bothers me. They weren't on screen more than the time they were on screen when they were on screen for a third of the movie. Well, most villains aren't on screen for a third of the movie or more. Like, relax.
Here's another one, and I'll stop. Do you know how long Darth Vader was on screen for the 2 hour long A New Hope?
Probably 5 to 10 minutes. Something real
10
small.
minutes.
10 minutes. See, you guys are
out of 120, which is not even 10%.
Toxicity. This is a guy who's a fan of Star Wars and Doctor Who. I knew this going in, but seeing the hate for this and how forced it is, honestly, it's more cringy seeing people bend over backwards to hate this than it is people just saying they don't like it. It is so otherworldly. You don't have to like it, but bending over backwards to hate just to hate because you don't like James Cameron is so cringy and it's childish. It is so funny. This is a fantastic film. It's the best of the trilogy. You can disagree with me on that if you want. I think it's so well done in terms of how it's expanding the lore and expanding the relationship of the family in Quaritch and your knowledge of the Na'vi people. I love the film. So I'll get off my soapbox. Sorry.
I saw someone claim that they reused clips.
I don't remember seeing reused clips, but
I think the example they gave was like during one of the battle scenes, and I was like, oh, out of all the scenes that you're complaining about is like probably a few frames, or I mean, it could be one take of a few frames of the same battle. I don't know.
It is so, again, and people are mad because like the reason that the Na'vi and the humans fight is the same in the third as it is in the second. It's the same story. Like, yes, they're gonna fight again. Like over the same thing. It was one movie originally and it was made into two. That's okay. Like, they're gonna come back again. Joker, Darth Vader, what was another example I used? Voldemort. They fight them every time. Superman and Lex Luthor. It happens every time. So
which Harry Potter do you want me to utilize for this example of Voldemort?
Well, in the first one, he's not in it, but maybe 30 seconds. So
are we doing the last one?
Do the last one.
Deathly Hallows 2?
Yeah. That one, he has to be the most prominent.
Sorry, it's taking me a little bit to write out the Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows 2. How long was Voldemort on screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Judging by... Sorry. I want to get one that's not AI one time, maybe. Maybe. The first Reddit one did not list Voldemort. Oh, you want to go total? You want to go total
in the franchise?
All the Harry Potters.
Beautiful. Hit me with
that would be crazy. That would be crazy. Someone said it was of the runtime of 19 hours and 39 minutes. I think they said he was on screen for 37 minutes.
Get over yourselves, people. This is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Like, and I know we're harping on like the villains on screen part because that one's so absurd when you take into account how long Varang and the Ash people were on screen in Quaritch if you count all the villains. But golly, like I have.
The longest he was on screen was the last one at 10 minutes.
It is just, you can disagree with me and say you don't like it. I'm not saying you have to like it, but it is so cringy when you bend over backwards to hate something just because you want to hate it. Just say you don't like it. Don't say, James Cameron's overrated. You cornball. Like, that is such cornball. Anyway, I'm going to move on because I've seen all this stuff and I'm like, you just blatantly didn't watch it. You just blatantly didn't care. You disregarded everything just so that you could say you didn't like it because you wanted to be different. Pick me, girl. That's what you are. Is if honestly, if you have those opinions just because you want to hate it, just so pick me. Oh, actually, you like James. You like Avatar? Oh my god! Like, that's what you sound like. They reused. You like the film where they reused the same plot? Like, that's what you sound like. Shut up.
And then they list off a French movie from the new era that you have no idea.
I like Italian Renaissance films. I like the Bicycle Thieves, okay? You wouldn't understand. I bet you've never seen it. Shut up. Okay.
Hey, Ryan doesn't like matcha, by the way.
I like matcha's fine. Wait.
I thought he was making a
No.
Never mind.
No, I like matcha's fine, but the point is, movies are made with me, people. With me, people. Come here. With me, people. They're made to have fun.
Nuh-uh.
Guys, they're meant to be fun.
I go to hate.
Yeah, I know you do. You wanted to go hate watch Lilo and Stitch so bad.
And I did. Did.
Yeah.
I went and hate watch Lilo and Stitch with my girlfriend.
The point is, relax. Cinephile, I love movies. Cinephiles, you guys make me so mad sometimes. I love you guys, but dang, relax. Anyway, we spent a long time on this.
I feel like most critics and cinephiles, they don't actually like movies, and that's how they get their reviews.
Let's be here to spread positivity. Beyond the Screen is a positive place. So I was watching someone review a really bad film called what was it called? It was a play on words. It was a holiday film. Something Smells. I cannot remember what it was called. But the idea is it's a really bad Christmas movie. And this guy had said at the beginning before he reviewed this.
Jingle Smells?
Jingle Smells.
Of 2023?
It was called Jingle Smells. It's a terrible film. And the guy reviewing it online made a point that no film is bad, but this is not a film, is how he said it. I agree. I don't think any film is like you. Before you like make a movie, try to make a movie and then go say something's bad. You know what I mean? Like, try to go make it and then go turn around and say that something is terrible. Because once you actually see what goes into that, then you will have a completely different mindset on exactly how bad things are. Not to say there's not bad films, but like generally, but I will agree there's no bad films. I will follow that sentiment.
Look, it's Eric Roberts in that movie.
Yeah, it's also got the dude from Fox News. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, Eric Roberts was Maroni in The Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah.
Referencing Joker.
It's got
anyway.
We'll move on past our top film. I had to get on my soapbox because I was so agitated by that. But anyway.
20 minutes later.
Coming in second. No, 15. I hit track. Coming in second, debuting with 22 million domestic, is David from Angel Studios, immediately becoming the religious or faith-based studio's biggest opening ever. This labeled biblical musical also becomes the largest debut for a faith-based animation ever in cinema history. So good for them. Good for Angel Studios. The film had a budget of just under 61 million, so it made back a third in just one weekend. Finishing third is in its debut, The Housemaid by Sydney Sweeney, as I said in the beginning. She finally hits big in 2025 because there were multiple all-time lows for her, and in terms of cinema history, worst openings ever for her. Heading into the last month of the year, she finally hits something that people resonate with, and I'm pretty sure this is a Holling Hoover adaptation in The Housemaid? Maybe not. It is a thriller. I've seen it called a blonde thriller because the other lead is also blonde. It's a noir on a budget of $35 million. So the film did pretty successfully, earning $19 million.
Not
is it
Colleen Hoover. It's
is it
a Frida McFadden.
Frida McFadden?
I don't know who that is.
Colleen Hoover. Did I say Holleen Hoover? Did I make that?
I
Did
think
say it
so,
wrong?
but I
Whoopsie.
knew who you were talking
Sorry,
about.
everybody. Anyway, the film had a budget of $35 million, made back 19 domestically in one weekend, and pulled in a 70% female audience. So a film that succeeded very well in its first weekend. Finishing fourth, 4 of the top 5, and the top 4 specifically are debuts. SpongeBob, Search for SquarePants, debuts to 16 million, and what is being called by critics as the best installment into the franchise, because there have now been 3 of them, or 4 of them maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Despite being the best by critics anyway, it earned significantly less than any film in the franchise, which the other 2 specifically earning 55 million and 32 million respectively during their openings. The thing is, it competes with everything we've talked about, and that did not fare well. Sadly, SpongeBob fell to the wayside. And lastly, rounding out our top 5 in its 4th week is Zootopia 2, dropping all the way from 1st to 5th, earning 14.5 million domestically. The film has pulled in 282.8 million domestically in total, and over 1.27 billion globally thus far. Other news from around the box office: Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and Wicked for Good both finally drop out of the top 5, and Marty Supreme debuts at 8th on a super limited release. 9th on a super limited release.
Yeah.
The thing is,
half of the box office numbers finalized and the other half didn't.
It debuted at with 6 theaters.
Yeah, which is still breaking top 10.
It irks me, dude, because when we were predicting these last week, it was in Box Office Mojo's release calendar for this last week.
Yeah.
What's that about? And now it's back in it this week. It's so...
Should have listened to AI.
Yeah. Should have listened to the AI, man. Anyway, Jake, before we get into our predictions, is there anything around the league, man, around the professional movie league, that around the top 5 or the box office that you guys that you think sticks out to you?
Is this thing on debut to 6 theaters? Didn't do quite near as well as Marty Supreme.
That's the
Will Arnett one. Right?
Yes, Will Arnett, directed by Bradley Cooper.
Yeah. So I think that one gets wide released soon. No? Am I wrong? When does that get wide released?
I'm not for sure, but I would imagine it's next week. If it's doing...
Me too, but it's not on the release radar, which is odd. Dude, whoever's running that thing,
they're doing a bad job.
Know.
They're doing a bad job. As 2 people went to look at it weekly and try to use it to make predictions, they're doing a bad job.
Oh man,
all y'all's heads today.
I want to call him up. I want to call him up and just ask us, hey, are you just not getting information? Are you just not being...
Let me be real with you. Come here.
Are you predicting these too?
Are you okay? Do you need to sit down?
Are you going on to YouTube and pulling dates from trailers?
I love the idea that guy is just as lost as we are.
Yeah, that poor person, man. Jeez. Anyway, what else do we have here? I see nothing new that we've talked about. Rental Family 21.
Song Sung Blue comes out next week as well, but that does say wide.
Yeah, I was waiting for the predictions here, but yes.
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
We can move on.
Oh, no. If you have anything else to say.
I got nothing. We'll talk about predictions because there's some things.
Yeah, next week's going to be interesting. It's not as full as this upcoming, or what this last weekend was, I should say, but it does have a good list of interesting films that could upset a lot of the top 5 as we know it right now. The thing is, the films that I'm about to list, they are coming out, or they are going up against 2 or 4 films that are in their second week. So there's going to be a lot of competition. Marty Supreme comes out fully in a wide release on December 25th, so on Christmas Day. Anaconda, the adventure comedy with Jack Black, Paul Rudd, and Steve Zahn, comes out also Christmas Day. A few others, a handful of them, but again, as I said, Song Sung Blue is really the only one that might have some intrigue by us in our prediction special. So among those 3, and with the 4 that still remain in terms of their second weekend that we're looking at here, Jake, what's your top predictions for next week?
My top predictions of Marty Supreme, Anaconda, The Testament of Anne Lee, No Other Choice, The Quarrel, which is like singing choral,
Yes.
and Song Sung Blue. Those are the releases, wide and limited, and then everything else that's come out thus far. My prediction is Avatar. Yeah, big deal. I know it's an upset. Marty Supreme, which because I think a lot of people are talking about that, and Timothy, he is in the limelight. People are looking at him and being like, this guy is generational in more ways than one, and so I think they're gonna kind of fill theaters for this drama sport movie. At least that's what IMDb is calling it, or Box Office Mojo is calling it a drama sport movie. I then got SpongeBob at 3. I'm still holding out for that audience, you know. I think for some reason SpongeBob's got to get an uptick. I don't know what it was about this last weekend, but SpongeBob deserves something. Like
justice for my boy Bob.
A little bit staying power for the Bob. We got Avatar, Marty Supreme, SpongeBob. I got Anaconda with Jack Black, Paul Rudd. I think that's going to be a good one, and I got that at 4th. And then I've got David at 5 with a little bit of holding power through the Christmas time, which is something I wanted to point out was there's no Christmas movies that like planned themselves to come out right now. Like Red One was a big deal.
The day itself, like they just didn't happen. Okay, yeah, I agree.
Nobody's scheduled for it, and it was like, did Avatar scare them off? Like, what was it?
Honestly though, maybe. I mean, there wasn't really. Think this year was there really any new major Christmas movies that came out at all? There really wasn't. So I think on top of the fact that maybe they just were saving some projects or they just didn't have a lot on the docket, probably what you just said is accurate. They probably were like, I'm not competing with James Cameron. I wouldn't. So I don't know. I think it's a good point.
Let's look at Christmas movies. 2025
Silent Night, Violent Night was the new Christmas horror that came out this year. But I think that's it, really.
Nothing massive, nothing crazy. All these are like Hallmark TV movies.
Hold up. Red and green sweaters in front of a snow-filled street every time.
No, that's Christmas season. Oh my gosh, Ryan, just go.
Okay. Anyway, me and Jake had the same top 5, but in different order. So our first 2 are the same: Avatar, Fire and Ash, and Marty Supreme. I agree. I think that this marketing run that Timothy has been on has been insane. Wearing the bright orange shirts, getting all the celebrities to wear the Marty Supreme logo jackets and like sports jackets, putting it on big orange blimps. Seeing him in everything, I think that it will work to its extent. I think the joke with the rapper, I think that worked out really well for them in the promotional material. Do you know what I'm talking about? People like surmising that some French rapper was like actually Timothy.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
You know what I think? I think that was a plant. I think that was an industry plant to get him, because all of a sudden now he has a verse in the dude's new song. All of a sudden after like a month of that being a thing. So I really think that was a plant by whoever's releasing the film.
It's literally him. I don't know why you're like.
I think it's A24. I don't know. They were standing next to each other in the video, which I know that could be faked, but who knows? But anyway.
Yeah. You and me both know that it literally could be him in the literally movie magic, but he's also wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And so it could just literally be anybody. But you and I both know that both options are very viable. Yeah. They could have split bro up.
Regardless of if it's real or fake, I think it was planted. However,
real or
it
fake.
Works.
Real or fake?
Oh,
is this an industry plant?
Real or fake? I think that the question circulating online whether or not it was Timothy or not was planted. I don't know if he is actually the rapper. I don't know enough about rap culture or him to be honest with you. I know that they're from the little slit in the eye spot in the mask that the guy wears. It looks like him.
It looks so much like him.
It does, but I can't say anything else other than that. But going back down my top 5 list, I have David holding out. Even if it loses whatever percentage, usually films lose 40 to 50% week over week. It'll be at like 12 to 14 million or 15 million. I don't think SpongeBob is going to pull that again after pulling 16 this first week. Maybe it sees a slight up. If it sees an uptick, it will pass, but I think SpongeBob will drop to about 10. And then Anaconda, I think we'll see Anaconda and SpongeBob fighting for fourth. Just because I think now Anaconda is kind of the outlier here because these comedy films have done a lot better this year than in previous years. So there's a chance that with Jack Black, the high of Jack Black after a Minecraft movie, this is his first project post that, if I remember correctly. And then it's Paul Rudd and Steve Zahn, who people love. There's a chance with the absurdist nature of the film that this could draw people to seats and it jump. And if it jumps, I could see it jumping to third. But I don't know. I don't think it will jump as high as we think.
That's why I got it at 4.
I think it'll do well, but I think it'll be fifth. Anyway, that is our top 5. And now we pass the ball to Jimmy, who Jake tried out a new prompt as he has written down here. He tried out something new here. So Jimmy predicted. Oh, sorry. Go ahead before we get into
I don't know. I don't need to talk too much about the prompt, but this prompt is very lengthy. And I literally took the other prompt and I prompted that prompt to get another prompt, you know what I'm saying? And look, I told it, you got to be the most accurate in your prediction.
Oh, geez, dude. Like, now you screwed us.
Know. Well, no, and so it's not like word for word, you know, like I did all the right prompt engineering junk or whatever to be the most accurate movie box office predictor, whatever, you know, not word for word.
You should have.
And this is what it gave me.
You guys should have seen Jake before the episode. He had like a fire going in the background. He was like sacrificing like lambs and rabbits to the Chat GPT gods and saying, "Give me accuracy." It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he does.
I'm missing a finger.
Yeah. No, dude, literally like sawed off. You should have. There's a lot of blood there. Let's see here. Jimmy's predictions include Avatar: Fire and Ash, Anaconda, David, Song Sung Blue, and The Housemaid. Yeah. So we will see. It's banking on Hugh Jackman and his star power. And then Housemaid. I don't think that this thriller will stick around. I think that the kids' films and the animations will stick around, and then a new comedy will knock The Housemaid out of the top 5. Yeah. But so chat is banking on Hugh Jackman, The Housemaid, and then really Fire and Ash. And I'm shocked to see Anaconda at 2. But we'll see how we did compared to, if it gets 5 out of 5, I'm going to be livid, Jake. I'm going to let you know right now. I'm going to be so mad. But we will see. We will see how we did to Jimmy come next week. Any final thoughts on our predictions or box office before we move on to our second segment?
It gave me confidence ratings.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It ain't even high confidence about Avatar. That's the crazy thing. None of them are high confidence.
Good night, man.
Chat you don't even know, man. Jimmy don't even know.
I love how chat is like, I can't even figure y'all out, dude. Like, I don't know. I have information at my fingertips, the world's largest piece of information for you exactly, and I can't figure you out. So good job, people. We'll win the war.
What's crazy is it's got David at a 25% decline.
25. I mean, that's not a lot.
No, that's pretty darn good
for an animation
studios.
Yeah.
And then 34% drop on Housemaid and 41% on Avatar.
It's being very optimistic about these drops.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how we fare against him next week.
It guessed what I would say the gross for Avatar about right. Like, what do you think that the drop will be next week for Avatar? Like, if you had to give it the gross for next week.
What did it? So is this domestic
88.
or global?
Domestic. We'll just go domestic.
I would say it'd probably stick around 50, so 40-ish.
It's at 52.
Yeah, I think that's probably accurate. I don't think it's not incorrect on all of it. I just think there's a lot of it that it is.
It's got David at 16.5 at 3, and then Housemaid at 12.5.
They're not bad predictions in the slightest. No.
Yeah, it's just whether or not Anaconda is going to make 24.
God, I don't know. I don't know how confident. Like, that's the stuff.
Song Sung Blue make 15.
I just don't think that film has a lot of hype behind it, dude. Hugh Jackman kind of ruined his reputation a little bit with the cheating scandal on
I ain't even heard of it.
Oh, well, he didn't ruin his reputation per se. That's kind of strong wording, but a lot of people were like, because he's divorced from his wife, who was a lot older, or who is, she's still alive, but who's a lot older than him. And there was a lot of people that suspected that he was cheating on her with some co-star on the tour for The Greatest Showman. And so like I know some people on the internet got mad at him for that. And then he came back as Wolverine. And so I just don't see as much hype for Hugh Jackman as it used to be. So I don't know. I don't really think that Song Sung Blue will be a lot. Completely honest.
I don't think for those reasons it'll be a lot, but
no, well, I'm not saying those reasons especially. I'm just saying that these are things that could contribute.
yeah.
I just don't think there's a lot of people that will be excited for Song Sung Blue, but those are other things that could be impacting it as well. Anyway, it's time to get out of our first segment. So coming up after the break, we get to the special part of our special episode. We'll talk about 2 films that we are reviewing this week for our niche Hollywood or niche holiday films. Excuse me. We'll see you after the break. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Beyond the Screen. You've made it to segment 2, which is usually our major news or some big talking point, but today we're talking about more film reviews. Earlier this month, we reviewed a comprehensive look at Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and JJK Execution when they came out. Kind of did a back and forth. We watched them both, described what we like about both, and then compared them. This week, we're doing something a little different. We're bringing a film to the table. We didn't watch each other's films, and we're going to say why we think this is a good holiday film for you to watch. The films that we picked, again, I've been saying the word niche a lot. So we're going with niche or underrated Christmas movies that we find. So we don't really know these, or we might know them, but whatever. These can range from anything from being very Christmassy or to being set during the holiday or a film that people might not think as a Christmas film, right? So we are picking from, do you think this is a Christmas movie or have you heard of this kind of thing? And we're bringing forth to you the most niche Christmas movie that we could find. Jake, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Oh, I can go first because I didn't necessarily listen to Ryan when he said what the prompt was. Anyway, mine is likely, it is a Christmas movie, undoubtedly, being named Merry Friggin' Christmas, coming out in 2014. It is probably a movie nobody has ever heard of because of real life circumstances that make it quite sad to watch, being one of the last things Robin Williams ever acted in. This movie came out 3 months after his death, which kind of made people not, I don't know. And it's not one of his best roles. A lot of people don't think it's a good movie for anybody in it. Like they gave it their all, but they weren't given the best story. So already plagued with real life drama. And then a lot of people hating on the story, but outside of that, the themes and the storytelling, it's all there. Like for a Christmas movie, it does from A to B solve all the problems and works out, and they're a big happy family. And there's a lot of character growth between everybody in the movie. So I'll set it up. We got Boyd Mitchell, which is Joel McHale. He's done Community, The Soup, Ted. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then we've got Robin Williams as his dad. I saw on IMDb that his name in the movie was Virgil Mitchell, but I swear his name was Mitch Mitchell in the movie because I remember it being funny that his name was Mitch Mitchell.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and say he was Mitch Mitchell. So if you don't know Robin Williams, Dead Poets Society, he was a president in the Night at the Museum movies. He was
Theodore Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt and Good Will Hunting. He's like this Midwestern Republican father that disapproves of the sissy stuff that you do. He calls you a Sally. Just basically anything that falls outside of what a man should be, you're a wimp. And so it opens with they're so Boyd Mitchell, the son, and Boyd Mitchell and Mitch Mitchell, um, Christmas being ruined for this young child by a drunk Robin Williams with long hair.
Yeah.
And it was very Lieutenant Dan-esque, he gives him a train set, which is awesome, but he's more mad at like the system and the man and society that he's like, it ain't real. Sooner you learn that, the better off you're going to be.
Right.
The system's out to get you, blah, blah, blah. And then they have a sweet moment where they still build the train set together. And then Robin Williams quits halfway through and says, you got it. Take it from here.
Oh.
And so Joel grows up and has like an everlasting grudge against his father until one Christmas they have to go spend it with the extended family. And that's kind of how it goes. And so the dad really wants to keep Christmas alive in his family because it wasn't in his childhood. He's got an older daughter that already kind of knows and doesn't believe, and he's got this son who's about the same age as he was when that happened, and he's really trying to keep it alive, and the son's asking questions and it's kind of falling through. And by the time they get to the in-laws house or dad's house, they realize they forgot the present for the boy, and they were in Chicago. I don't know where they ended up at dad's house, but it's like an 8-hour drive there.
Oh no.
And it was 11, I think, when he left. Car breaks down. Robin Williams got to come get him, and then they have a road trip. So who else is in this? Lauren Graham, I think, is Gilmore Girls and Parenthood. She is the wife. And then there's a guy named Duke in real life. Let me find it. Write it down. Frank Duke? Am I wrong? No, Clark Duke. Clark Duke. You'll know him from like Hot Tub Time Machine and what is it? Thunk from The Croods. Like his voice is, you'll know who it is as soon as you see him. You're like, oh yeah, that guy. I could probably pull. I can't even pull an image from IMDb. Come on. To show you guys, but I'm rambling. But anyway, that's kind of like the whole point is family drama and this like dad and son rivalry where, I mean, the main character Boyd, he's a stockbroker. Like he lives in a mansion. Like he's super well off, like a happy family, wife who loves him. He works too much, and then like 2 beautiful children. Like he's living the American dream, and his dad has only ever gave him crap because he's a sissy and he's a pansy and he's growing his kids up to not want to eat squirrel.
Because
Because
it does sound fun though.
Yeah. So it's from acting wise, it's great. Like it's everybody tries their 100%. It's good acting. It's kind of the cliches and the line deliveries or like basically just the lines themselves and the overall story is where it kind of lacks. But in terms of like the conflict and the conflict resolution where they all come together at the end and have learned. So at the end, you've got Robin Williams realizing that he wasn't exactly the best father. Joel realizing that no matter how much effort, really, like you shouldn't just force Christmas onto your kids, because at the very end, they finally get the present there that they had forgotten. And he opens it up and he's like, oh, wow, cool. He like the main character had made him a sled that was just like Rosebud, basically, but had the little kid's name on it. And the movie started out saying that, specifically reading off that it was in the Midwest, but it was too warm for snow. And the kid says, this is awesome, but there's no snow. And then he turns around and opens up gifts that the mom and the grandma were upstairs wrapping in newspaper, drunk, like going through old memories, talking crap about husbands. and he opens one up, and it was like a very old board game. Well, it was Bridge, but it was in like a board game box. And he's like, "Oh, cool, Bridge! I've always wanted to learn how to play Bridge." And then like Boyd, the main character, and Robin Williams were just kind of like, you know,
Could have just
and,
not done the whole thing.
yeah. So I don't, and there was some like character building for the kids too, because they were in the basement together. They learned how to not be like so uptight, and like there was one guy who's, well, that same kid who opened the sled hallucinated off of old pickles from the 70s. I don't know. And so he learned how to not be like uptight, I guess. Both of them did from their kind of more, what is it called? Redneck cousins, I think.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's kinda
yeah.
what it was. So I don't know if my rambling has convinced you to add this to your list.
It
But
sounds oddly sweet. It sounds
yes,
like the
and
sins of the father don't necessarily have to trickle their way down every lineage, right?
yeah,
And it's like kind of like the lesson is there is a spectrum to everything, and if you go too far in the opposite direction, you're
yeah.
causing just as much damage as what happened to Joel McHale.
There are like small pieces of the puzzle, I would call it, where like they stop at a gas station and the gas station owner knows the dad, and it's like with a trope where he's like, "Oh, I bet he's talking a lot of shit about me, right?" And the gas station owner's like, "No," and it's the same gas station owner as the one from uh Country for Old Men, No Country.
Oh yeah,
for,
yeah, yeah.
Same one. And
Oh,
it's
that's
so
awesome.
funny. It's
Yeah.
so, it's so good. And he's like, "No, he talks very highly of you. And like you've got that, nice house and great paying job, and hell, he only ever comes in here and talks about how good you're doing."
Mm.
And then they finally get to the house, and the dad sees a picture frame, and he pulls out the same photo from his wallet, and he's photoshopped out of the one in the frame in his house.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awful.
And so he's bitter, right? And they're both like, everybody's just arguing. And then they somehow come to a resolution where Robin Williams realizes he was a bad father, and then Joel McHale's character is, forgiving. Like Robin Williams said sorry, and I think
Yeah.
that was the conflict resolution. And then all of a sudden they run over the reoccurring hobo Santa character,
Oh, that
and and then that's kind of like they're freaking out. But
that is so weird that you have a running over somebody trope in your film.
oh,
Because
really?
I have one in mind, but it's not the
um,
same way. But anyway, please continue because it is pretty funny.
that's that's pretty much the majority of the story, and I don't think that spoiled too much. I think it really is just about, I guess, the father-son dynamic. So if you have that level of that you can relate to this film, like you have grandfathers or fathers, or you're the son or you're the father or whatever, and you can like kind of relate to Christmas being kind of
Yeah.
that dysfunctional family celebration. I think this is a good one, not to probably watch together, but watch on your own, to really just kind of like, because I didn't care for my father as a teenager either. Many
Mm.
don't. Many don't.
Yeah.
But like now we're best buds. And it's just weird how as soon as you leave for college, and then I was like, "Oh man, that guy's kind of cool.
I miss that guy.
I kind of miss that guy." So, um some fun and notable facts I have written down because I did seek these out. Um Unfortunately, Robin Williams' death, that was not a fun fact. That was
Yeah.
something I thought I should point out. Apart from, let's see here. Sorry. It is apparently often compared to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which I did get that. Like I felt like somehow the brother gets involved too, and so they've got a stowaway, and he was in war, and he fell out of the back of a Humvee and bumped his head and got discharged. But Robin Williams' character will die on the hill that he's a vet that served his country.
Oh,
It's so funny because the main character is like, he fell out of a Humvee and was discharged in training. And he's like, he's a genie hero. It's so funny. And then because the brother has this like PTSD, he can't handle conflict. And so when they're screaming at each other, he's like, he's like,
no.
yeah. So this is rated R, by the way. And I don't know why. I mean, maybe there's references, mature family dynamics. There is a gun at one point when he shoots the squirrel, but I don't know. I didn't see it as rated R. I would say it's definitely 13.
So I think, again, mine also has a gun, but mine's also comedy. I want to finish off Merry Friggin' Christmas because it seems sweet. Like it seems like
Yeah.
again, like a good watch. There are some good notable lessons to be learned in there. And while maybe trying too hard, it seems like the heart of the creators were in the right place.
Yeah, I just don't know if it was a budget thing or whoever wrote it didn't do as well as they probably should have. A lot of people wonder if Robin Williams' performance was, I think muted is the wrong word, but he was not as manic as he is in prior films or even in his stand-up.
Was he acting just more serious?
I guess kinda. I mean, he did get like emotive, but yeah, it just wasn't as manic or all over the place. Or he's supposed to be a grumpy dad, you know, and so he wasn't really, I guess, put in the best of roles.
That is kind of sad. That being like his last like
cinematic.
One
of there are 3. So one of them was Night at the Museum, and then if I go back, let's see, Robin Williams. His last 3 were A Merry Friggin' Christmas, Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb, and Absolutely Anything, where he is the voice of a dog, and it stars Simon Pegg, where he's like given the ability to do absolutely anything as an experiment by aliens. Which I've seen portions of this movie. It's super funny, very good. It's like, you know, Shaun of the Dead and Simon Pegg movies, obviously, but Robin Williams was the voice of the dog on that one, and that was the one that last came out. So I assume it was the last one filmed. It came out in 2015, but I don't know. I think it's worth a watch if you can relate to a father-son family drama,
the troubles and the like the hardships that come with such a because I mean, like, there's a lot to be said about like the expectations of a father and like not just like the teachings that he bestows, but like especially like as 2 oldest or only sons in the call, there is a level of expectation there. Like as the oldest, like I am the oldest of 4 boys, you know, like or 5 boys, depending on my family's divorced, so depending on like he has 4 kids and my mom has 5, but even the 5th kid my mom had is a boy. So it's like there is a level of expectation, like the Gum name, right? Like what are you going to do with that? Like, even though he might, you know, he's not someone who's famous, and where he lives, he is very well known because he worked very hard, and that expectation. And so that is something that I feel like a lot of people can get behind, is like with this story, is like, especially as like, again, us 2 specifically, we probably are more of a target audience because it's like the expectations of a father on their eldest. And I think in theory, Joel McHale's character is the eldest son. I think that has a lot of like staying power and like can resonate with a lot of people.
So I don't know if the girlfriend liked it. I didn't get her opinion on it, but she was kind of on her phone on the bed back there while I watched it. I laughed a few times. There were a few times that it was like, that was a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely just give it a try and then think about putting it into your rotation. But I just don't know if it's a rotation worthy film. It's just worthy of watching. at the very least as an homage to Robin.
Yeah, for sure.
See what he was. If you want to do a deep dive on Robin Williams, what is it, filmography, and see what he was up to at the very end, and see if you can, like, I don't know, tell the differences and where he might have given it his most or not given it at all. A lot of people think he did this one for money, so because of the performance. So I don't know. If you're interested in psychoanalyzing acting, there you go.
Yeah. Anywho,
moving on.
Yeah.
Please have a happier movie, Ryan.
Mine's happier because it is hilarious. I picked, and so, okay, my thought process coming into this prompt and this idea was, okay, non-traditional, niche, unexpected, okay, or like underrated. So I looked up non-traditional Christmas movies, and I had done this for a couple of different sites, and I found a forum on Reddit, and I found a list on IMDb, and then Google had a list, and I kept seeing this one film called Go by Doug Liman from 1999. And it just kept catching my eye because it had that, like, think of like when you think of anything from the 90s, like a film or a television show, that you think of like a brightly colored backdrop with like a brightly colored title, and you got these characters stacked on top of each other, and they're all standing like that, literally what it looks like. And I saw a little blurb about what the film was about, and it seemed hilarious. And once I saw it, like for the third or fourth time, I was like, okay, I think I've got my sign. Like, I think this is the one. So, giving you the quick Google synopsis of the film, and I want to warn, spoilers abound. I won't go through every little detail of the film for the sake of time, but also there are a lot of really funny moments that have to be I want to share these because they're hilarious and they do spoil some moments. So spoilers abound for this, but still go watch it because it's really funny. So the Google synopsis is, quote, grocery store clerk Simon occasionally sells drugs from his cash register at work. So when soap opera actors Adam and Zach come looking for ecstasy on a quiet Christmas Eve, they are surprised to find Rana, as they call her, covering his shift. Desperate for money, Rana decides to become an impromptu drug dealer, unaware that Adam and Zach, and I'm not going to say the rest because I'm going to save that. So you'll hear the rest of that. So anyway, immediately you're like, okay. Now, I did not read the synopsis going in, so I had no idea, none of this subtext. I had no idea what was going on. And why this story is really cool is, so Doug Liman, he did all of the Jason Bournes. He did the latest Roadhouse. Remember that guy that was throwing a fit when Amazon just pulled Roadhouse from theaters and he boycotted? Yeah, that's Doug Liman. That's the guy that directed this movie. And so it's got a lot of fun. Like, just when you think of a Doug Liman movie, you think action, you think a lot of like very high paced scenes. Ironically, this has a lot of that. It's a crime dramedy is what this is listed as. It's so much more an absurdist comedy. Like, it's so absurd in the situations that these characters get themselves into. So you have these nucleus of characters who work at this convenience store. Rona, Manny, hold on, I have the cast list right here. Rona, Manny, Claire, and Simon. They work together at this convenience store. And as you heard, Simon's going away for the holiday, and he's desperate to find someone to take his shift. When the movie starts, it starts with a motif from who you learn is Claire, who's actually played by Katie Holmes, who is Rachel in The Dark Knight. Rachel! That's her. That's the actress that plays her. She is Claire in Go, which is so funny when you figure that out. There's also a jump scare from another famous actress that I'll get to later, but there's a lot of people in here that are recognizable. But anyway, Claire, at the beginning, is talking to an unnamed character, and she's describing a motif about Christmas. And she says the reason that she loves Christmas is because just when you think you know what you got, you shake in the box, you're trying to guess what the wrapped gift is. Just when you think you know, you open it up and it's a surprise. Every time it's a surprise, and that's her favorite part. And that is so perfect for what the film is, because every scene is a surprise after, like, one after the other. You have no idea what's happening next. And it is, again, I'm going to label this absurdist because it is so fun in so many ways. So anyway, back to the story. The way these characters interact with each other and the way the story is told, it's told in chapters. You follow Rana, you follow, as we said at the beginning, Zach and Adam, who are actors. And you follow Simon. So it follows, like, you follow these three characters, and it starts at one specific event. And it is when Simon is looking for someone to cover his shift. So they're in the break room. Rana is just getting off her shift. Claire says, leave her alone. She got off 14 hours. And he's like, whatever. So he's like, I'm going to ask her. So at every chapter, it starts at that event. Like, it starts from the same start point and it offshoots. And then you see how what they get into all interact with each other, because it's absolutely hilarious, right? So Anyway, Simon's like, Rana, I'm going on vacation. I'm going to Las Vegas. I've never been. Simon is British, by the way. They don't ever extrapolate why he's there, but he's British. He's like, they're in LA. He's like, hey, my buddies are going to Vegas and I've never been. I really want to go. Can you cover my shift? And she's like, well, I am $380 low on rent. And he's like, I will even pay you the difference in rent and give you my shift so you have extra money if you take my shift. She's like, okay, I'll do it. So she does it, right? Then come in Zach and Adam. As these two walk in, they saunter in and they're in like leather. It's so 90s. Like it is so absurdly 90s. They come walking in and they're like, hey, where's Simon? And Ron is like, he's not here. They're like, well, he gets us something a little bit more, how did she, I don't know, like ecstatic is how he says it or something. It's like trying to hint at ecstasy. And she's like, maybe I can get you. So anyway, she agrees to go to Simon's drug dealer, whose name is Todd, I think. Yeah, Todd. And is like, yeah, they're like, we're going to go to Todd and we're going to get our own deals. Long story short, Todd is like, you had these people ask you for the exact amount needed to have a felony. And cause like when she says the amount of ecstasy they want, he makes her take off her shirt and like makes her spin to make sure she's not wearing a wire. And is like, magically, you want this amount. And she's like, no, they're for real. So anyway, he's like, I'm doing you a favor, but you're $100 short, so I need some sort of collateral. This lady, Rana, leaves her friend. He leaves Claire there in this drug dealer's apartment. It's like absurdist, right? Anyway, long story short, Rana goes to a bust house and has to throw the drugs down the drain to get away, right? Now, not only is she $100 short, she doesn't have the drugs. So she's like, I'm going to give this guy whatever pill I can find that looks similar and just leave because they still have the bottle it came in. So she goes and she does that. Then she goes to the big party everyone's talking about. And with the remaining drugs that she has, because they're just like Advil or they're like allergy meds, she's just selling them to make extra money. But guess who figures out that the drugs he got back were not real and now thinks that they stole this drugs from him because he doesn't know that she like flushed him down the toilet. So now he's like, they stole this 20 whatever count of ecstasy from me and are selling it at this party. And that's what it looks like. So anyway, Todd catches Rana and is like, I'm going to kill you. He pulls out a gun. They're in the parking lot of this thing. And as Rana's backing up, she gets run over by a car. She gets hit by a car and flies on the roof. The car speeds up. She goes flying into a ditch. End of chapter 1. That's like, it is so, when I say absurd, I am like, I'm not. So anyway, Todd is like, he's like got the gun and he's like, what are you doing? Like now all of a sudden Todd, the drug dealer with a gun, looks reasonable. So anyway, chapter 2 goes to Simon in Vegas. And I have to warn you, do not watch this with your kids because this film, nudity and drug use abound. Anyway, it is hilarious. Simon, the only real thing you need to know about what happens in Vegas is Simon swiped Todd, his drug dealer's gold card, his platinum card, his like credit card, and is using it to buy things in Vegas. So of all the things that happen, there's a lot. The only thing that you should know is Simon goes to a strip club, does the thing you're not supposed to do at a strip club, and he touches the model. The guy comes in to beat him up, and he shoots the guy in the arm. Well, turns out the guy he shot in the arm is the son of the strip club's owner. So as you can imagine, they go after Simon and his friends. Simon and his friends get away, but oh my gosh, guess what Simon forgot? The gold card with Todd's name on it and address. So now these Vegas strip club owners are going to Los Angeles, and they're going to find Todd and not Simon. Chapter ends. The next chapter, you follow Adam and Zach. And I'm going to kind of skim through it because there's one funny moment that I want to get to. So Zach and Adam are actors, and long story short, they're caught in a drug bust, and they're being used to find the big dealer, that is Todd, right? The police want Todd, and the police detective that is with Zach and Adam, his name is Burke. That's played by William Fichtner, by the way. Random like jump scare in that whenever he pops up, because just a random well-known actor is in here as a cop. But anyway, that they improvise and they get Rana involved in the whole thing. But that Zach and Adam are the two people who went up to Rana at the beginning of the film and are like, "Hey, we're Simon. We want to buy drugs, right?" And I don't even know how to explain exactly what happened, so I'm not going to. Long story short, Zach tips Rana off in the bust house in their little whatever like police raid house, and she leaves, and they're all mad. And after some other weird events that I'm going to skip over and let you guys figure it out to yourself, it is revealed that Adam and Zach are a gay couple. And it was so funny because at the very beginning, like of their chapter, Adam and Zach are walking and talking to each other, and there's like mentions of girlfriends and whatnot, like, and they're weird about it, they're cagey about it. But Claire in the convenience shop, as Adam and Zach are walking up to Rana to ask for the drugs, she makes an off comment, like out of earshot, but we see it on camera. She goes, "Gay men are so hot. What a shame." And I'm like, this is such a 1990s movie.
Does that make sense?
Like, because like they're hot. Like she can't get with them because they're gay. And so, but
That's what makes them hot.
The thing is, before she makes that comment, there's no inclination they're gay at all. So you're like, what? You're like, what is happening? Anyway, turns out they're gay, and it turns out that they're both cheating on each other with Jimmy from Makeup. And they're like, we're gonna go get revenge on Jimmy from Makeup. And this is what I mean by absurd. So everything past this point is just random, and it loops into each other. So we're getting to the point where it loops back together. They're like, okay, Jimmy's gonna be at this party. So they go to find Jimmy's apartment, and Melissa McCarthy's in there. Like, I was like, what is she doing here? Anyway, like I said, Melissa McCarthy and William Fichtner just like scared me when they popped up on screen, because I'm like, anyway, they go to the party after being tipped off by Melissa McCarthy of Jimmy being in there. And they cut off his hair, yada, 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 yada. They may have a conversation before they get to Jimmy. And they're like, I can't believe you cheat on me with Jimmy. Well, I can't believe you cheat on me with Jimmy. And they're talking about his abilities. And he's like, he was so bad at oral, I had to teach him. And the other guy goes, wait, when'd you do that? He's like, October. He goes, he got so much better around then. Like, it's just like all these conversations, like, what? And they're like happy as can be. We're going to get revenge. And they're having these conversations. Anyway, they get in their little yellow Miata, and they're trying to leave the party after they cut Jimmy from Makeup's hair off. And they go down a wrong way, and they go to back up. And guess what they did? They run over Rana. Remember at the beginning when Rana got hit by a car? That's Adam and Zach. So the best part is, and it's so bad because it is kind of a stereotype what happens next. When Rana gets hit, she flies to the top of the car and she like falls onto the windshield, and they both go, ah! Like they both scream, and it is the funniest thing. Like, oh my, when they scream, I lost it because it was just like the way they both just absolutely like, ah! And then they turn and they look, and there's Todd standing there with a gun, like gun in hand, just like,
yeah.
And so, and I was like, please show it. They show their perspective from in the car at an angle, and he's just like walking up to the car, and it's like, you just hit my dog. He's like his face, and they're like, just drive. So he hits the gas, and she goes flying off into this ditch. It was so funny, like just this whole thing. And so it is such the thing is, you might be asking at this point, why is this a Christmas movie? It's set during the holidays. Like that is, they make a one-off line where Rana's like, I don't have enough money for rent. And Simon's like, they wouldn't kick you out on Christmas, would they? The only reason you know it's Christmas. But it is such a funny movie. Like, it is so absurd in the way everything interconnects and the way everything just kind of combines. It's so odd that this story has like a Pulp Fiction style of like non-chronological storytelling, right? Like, I love the chapter. I love the non-traditional and the unique way of telling the story. It is so fun and it's so out there that I loved it. I loved every second of it. It is so unique. I'm not spoiling everything. I left out, I did kind of give away one of the funnier moments in the film, but I don't care. It is so good. And I don't know, I would watch this. I honestly might add this to my rotation, just kind of like a palate cleanser for other Christmas movies, because again, we had this conversation in a Discord call, me and you did, Jake. What makes a Christmas movie? Is it because it's Christmas themed, or it's because it's set during the holiday? And a lot of people are on either side of that fence. I, for one, think if it's set during the holidays, probably a Christmas movie. You know what I mean? I think you can probably make the case that it is a Christmas movie. So in that case, yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Well, yeah, I mean, like, yes, of course. If this film was made during the 4th of July, it would still count. It would still be the same story. Yes, that is true, but it wasn't. It wasn't. It was set during Christmas. So I don't know. I just feel like that's such a cop out for that argument. So I for one do think Die Hard is a Christmas movie because I do think that it is during the holiday season, and I think in Die Hard, the holiday season is kind of like a plot point. Like it's like that the reason that some characters are in certain instances is because it's the holiday. For this one, the reason Simon's going to Vegas is because it's the holiday. It's because it's Christmas. So I think that for me, I am making the leap. I do think it is. There's another character named Manny, and Manny's entire existence is so Doug Liman can have a reason to show what it's like being high on ecstasy on screen. And I think that is so funny because you see his perspective and it is wild. There are just so many different things happening, and it is a lot, but it's not like anything's out of place. Like it is movies for the fun of movies. And that's what I love about it. The action sequences are shockingly good. The acting in it is so funny because not one character really cares about what's happening, but they're just kind of like it's so fun. Like it's, again, I think a comedy / crime, as Google has it, is not correct at all. It is a absurdist dramedy. That is what it is. It is absurd. It has got some drama in it, but it is so much a comedy at the end of the day. I love every second of this. I will be adding this as a palate cleanser to my holiday rotation, and I think you should as well. But don't watch it when your kids are around because, man, 1, there is an N-word in there. 2, there is an F slur in there.
Ryan's a racist.
No, the guy
This was the 90s.
The guy was trying to make the point that he was black, and he was not. But
oh God.
Anyway, there are a lot of really funny moments. Again, this was made during the 90s. So, and it shows hard, like from their aesthetics, from the cars to what they say, but it's fun. Like it is. I understand now why people had this in their like non-traditional Christmas movies and why people were like, yeah, I love that movie. It's just fun. It's not meant to say anything about the world. It's meant to be a drug-fueled, sometimes sex-crazed, like adventure of these random people who are doing things just for the sake of doing them, and it's funny. It's so funny. Like again, when things happen, like you can't help but just chuckle. Like, and it's not like it's trying to be cheap. Like it doesn't have any like. What do you think of when you think of cheap comedy? It's like fart jokes and sex jokes, right? Those aren't in there in that sense. They're not cheap with the comedy. Like and it's not complex by any means, but like it's just genuinely a funny watch. So I don't know. Like the best part about Rana getting run over, she's back to work on Monday. She's back to work the next day, dude. She's back to work the next day with a limp. That's it. It's so like like she shows up and Claire at the end is just like just staring at her like what the audience is thinking. She's like, hey. Like, why are you there? She's clocked in. She's working the register, man. So I love this movie. And that is why I think you should watch it too. I left out a lot. I did tell a lot, but I left out a lot. It's an hour and 42 minutes. Not a long watch at all. It is a quick hour 42 as well. It's on Pluto for free. If you can watch ads, you can probably buy it on Amazon if you don't like ads. Highly recommend watching it. It just is fun. Todd, oddly, the drug dealer, the best character. The most complex. He's a funny character, and I dug it. I dug it a lot.
Well, thank you, Ryan. I will be watching that one.
Please, dude. I want to see your reactions. Like, I want to watch it with you in the room. Like, I want to see your reactions because just when things happen,
and you're gonna be staring at me the whole time.
Yeah, dude.
You're gonna be so mad when I don't laugh.
You piece of you're just angry. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. But anyway, do we have anything else to say about our 2? So that is Go and Merry Friggin' Christmas. 2, I think, good choices. I think these are really like one really holiday themed and one not, but 2 very non-traditional or things that films that people wouldn't think of as on their Christmas watch post Thanksgiving and into December. So any thoughts?
I want to hear what the audience watches.
Ooh.
I don't want to hear no Polar Expresses or Christmas carols or friggin' Christmas vacations, man. I want to hear not even your diehards. I want to hear them ones that people don't even know that you find comfort in. And
dude, prompt it up. Give us a reason why. Like, I want to know, like, if you watch, let's say you watch something really random like Independence Day over the holiday.
Yeah,
Why?
it doesn't even have to be Christmas. I just
Right.
want to know why you watch that.
Why is that your like seasonal watch during the Christmas season? Like, what about that film makes you feel Christmassy? I would love to know why, because I want more non-traditional holiday films to watch. Because Go was so worth it. I think I might do this again next year. Just try to find something out of nowhere.
I don't know if the girlfriend does it during Christmas, but she tries to watch BoJack every year.
Oh yeah, I bet that's a good one.
Like, but there's Christmas episodes in there. But anyway, yeah. So it doesn't even have to be really Christmas. We just want to know why you watch it during the season.
Every year, Taylor, or I'm so sorry. Every year, your
Doxed.
girlfriend, yeah, I'm sorry. Your girlfriend is crying at the, this is the hardest part. It gets easier from here, but you got to do it every day.
That would be me watching the same show every year. I couldn't do it. Watch it once and I'm done.
Off topic, speaking of shows, I started watching Pluribus today. I know.
I want to watch it so bad.
Dude, it's crazy. The first episode is actually like, they're about to do their season finale, I think, this week. And I'm happy to get caught up on it. But it's good. Vince Gilligan, like the premise is just way, like, take Breaking Bad's like style of writing and put it into like sci-fi or like just like, yeah, like it that's all I'll say. It's so different and it's very good. But anyway, that's what we watched. We're coming up after the break. I think we got to end this segment. Coming up after the break, we play Real or Fake, and we give you what you should know before you go. So stick around. Welcome back to Beyond the Screen. You made it to segment 3. We've been going a lot longer than what we thought we would be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give us an expedited like route through segment 3. Thank you guys so much for watching and be back on my soapbox again. Every week I like to just give thanks to you guys, because without your prying eyes and your listening ears, this would not be anything. And so we are so thankful that you're here. We would love to hear from you guys. Like, subscribe, follow, share, the whole 9. We would love to hear what you guys think. We would love to watch the films you guys want us to watch. We'd love to talk about topics you guys are interested in. Just let us know. Our DMs are always open on the Beyond the Screen podcast on Instagram, Facebook, the comments down below here on YouTube, or even on LinkedIn if you're on there. So let us know what you think. And we would absolutely love to do more with you guys. But beyond that, thank you guys so much for being here. And Jake, is there anybody we want to tell for the holiday season? Oh, I don't like
big
that.
Man.
Oh, Santa himself.
All
right. I'm trying to do a quick one.
Well, I mean, you could just write it in the note.
Well, I thought that too. But
yeah.
I like the idea that you've been trying to get to Santa your whole life to see what he looks like. And the one time you're like, you know what? I don't even care. I just want to tell him about the podcast is when you get him. You're like, oh, because you like.
I feel like you wake up in the middle of the night and you hear the podcast from your living room. You did put out milk and cookies just because tradition, and it's like, it's a good little like thing to come out at 2 a.m, like, oh cool, morning cookies. But then you're like, you hear it in the living room, what is that and it's just bro chowing on your cookies and milk that you left out. Like, what do you expect to happen Christmas Eve? You left cookies and milk out, and he's just sitting there full blast listening to Beyond the Screen on his phone.
Taking a break. It's a lot of houses.
Yeah, sitting in your recliner, rocking back.
How do you think he laughs? So like we make a joke. Do you think he's like, oh, like he's like snorting at the end? Like,
it's not that you told him about it. Big Man already listened. How do you think he gets to that flight, dog?
Yeah, I got a lot of podcasts to listen to.
He literally doesn't listen to like several before his run, and then he just binges Beyond the Screen.
Yep. I gotta listen to my 2 favorite white boys talking about movies.
I choose to believe that to be facts. That's the narcissist.
Yeah, Rudolph's like, shut up. Anyway, not a kid. Yeah. Anywho, that's who you should tell. Tell the big man himself. Santa would love to know about Beyond the Screen.
Tell him to tell the elves. How about that?
Yeah. Oh, they've heard it. Can you imagine they're in the workshop? They're in the workshop, and on the speakers is just the pod. Guys,
Two.
you got to get caught up on your news.
It's even worse. That's what makes it slave labor.
Yes, it's a sweatshop, but only because he makes them listen to us.
Otherwise, it would be quite enjoyable. Like
and
in
the 401ks are
Buddy.
good. The healthcare is good.
Yeah. They all love to make toys, but it's a sweatshop because of what's played over the speakers.
Kumbaya, if not.
Yep.
Anyway, we play Real or Fake, ladies and gentlemen. Real or Fake is a game that we have come up with that we've seen from other places as well. And in the sense of sports podcasts, or we've kind of taken some inventory of it. And essentially the way it works, we read a headline, and then based upon the comments of said headline from other sources or the internet's reactions to a certain piece of news, we put in like kind of an ultimatum. This is what people are thinking. Is that real or is that fake? So IE will go ahead and give you the first one as an example for those new to the game. We talked last week about the report that Chris Evans is returning. It's no longer a report. We know it for a fact. I've seen it for my own eyes. Chris Evans is back. Yes, in the theater. It was ahead of the Avatar movie. Chris Evans is back as Steve Rogers in the MCU. Not only have fans been very up in arms about this, whether that's good or whether that's bad, there's been a debate. So real or fake, we're going to add in our own opinions to that, Jake. Real or fake, Chris Evans' return is disrespecting to Anthony Mackie and his character Sam Wilson and all that they have done since his exit in the franchise.
I think if I was Anthony Mackie, yeah, I would be disrespected. I think it's real in the sense that if I had to put myself in his shoes, it would be like, okay, they think I failed. Like I didn't do what they had wanted me to do, and they had bet on me to be the Captain America, and then it flopped and all that. And me being me would take the brunt of the blame for my Captain America not doing well. From a business perspective, this is the right move, whether it disrespected anybody or not. You've got to get people to watch. And if it's Chris Evans is coming back, if he's not Captain America, or he comes back, and that's what gets butts and seats, then that's what you got to do, But I think it is kind of like a, from a secondary standpoint was, it's a cop out, right? It's a tail between the legs from Marvel or Disney or MCU, whomever you want to point the finger at. It's haha, you couldn't do it. Yeah. You couldn't swap the characters, or you couldn't swap the actors, or whatever you want to say it is. It's just kind of like you ate it. You ate your foot, right? Foot and mouth type deal. Yeah. You had to call Chris Evans back. You had to bring RDJ in as Doom. Now there might be an alternative timeline deal that they're going to spin with Doom there, but I'm seeing a lot of people saying that they're just going to start over after Endgame. Nothing after Endgame happened.
I've seen reports as well, and I don't know if these are just rumors online, but like new actors will play Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. Which, if that's the case, then what happens to Sam Wilson, right? Like, yeah. So I agree with you. I think this is disrespectful. And if I were to be in, let me rephrase before I continue with that thought. There's a way to make this respectful depending on how they handle it. I think there is an avenue to where, because they've already said that Steve Rogers is not Cap. That's Sam Wilson. So I do think that there is an avenue that it is respectful, and I will put that little caveat in there. But as things stand, it is disrespectful. And if I'm putting myself in his shoes as well, I'm saying, you didn't really give me a shot. How many films did Chris Evans get as Cap before, like he was
a relationship?
Yes,
right?
He had 3 before, or 2 at least before the first Avengers, right? Like he had, at least even if it was after the first, he had Captain America. If it's not the Winter Soldier, then it's the first Avengers. But then after Winter Soldier, it's the second. And then you had the third, right? There was 3 Captain America movies. There's a lot that Chris Evans was in before there was ever any inclination of whether he was successfully Captain America or not. For Sam Wilson, you give him his one show that shows that he became Captain America, and then you give him one half-baked movie, Captain America 4, and then you're saying he's a failure. You've not allowed him. And the thing is, Falcon in the Winter, or yeah, was it Falcon in the Winter Soldier? Yes, they changed it to Captain America, like at the end as like a quick tie-in whenever he finally accepted the title. But yeah, Falcon in the Winter Soldier, and then 4 years later, you had Captain America. Where is exactly what you pointed out? Where is that room to allow audiences to connect to this character? There isn't. And so I really feel like I would be like, you didn't even give me a shot. Like you didn't allow me to be Captain America. And so that would be how I would take it. I don't know what they're telling him behind the scenes. He probably is well inundated with what the plan is, so he's probably very on board with it. But I would be taking it as disrespectful, and I do think it is disrespectful. There is, again, that caveat that how they handle it can make it respectful. So I will keep that in there, and I'll say that TBD on if it fully is forever. But in this moment, it definitely looks that way.
Yeah, so it's Iron Man 1, The Incredible Hulk with I think that's
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America First Avenger, the First Avengers after that, 1 year later. So you got to see Cap 1, where you get the backstory of him, and then you see him lead the Avengers quite well, and you enjoy Cap because you just got off the high of the Star Child Eagle Boy, right? Like this is America's star, and then you don't see him through Iron Man 3 or Thor the Dark World, and then you get the Winter Soldier, and then you get Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Ultron. You see him lead the team again through hardship, Ant-Man, and then you get Civil War. So there's technically 5 that you get to see Chris Evans be a big player, powerful character, ones that you look up to and have sided with up into, Civil War, and whether or not you still side with him through that, all the way through. I mean, what's next after that? Infinity War, and then you see Infinity War and then Endgame.
It really does feel like like a cop out. Like you'd said it. You're right. It does feel like a cop out from Marvel, and it
didn't work once, and that's
so they moved on.
And then they moved on. That's what it looks like, and I don't doubt it from a Disney perspective. Like they do that, they would do that. So I think that's why it's disrespectful.
It's a state of or it's a case of the state of the MCU, because when Chris Evans was beginning as Cap, there was no prior expectation. Like you had 2 movies before him, maybe 3, right? Thor was right before that, right? It was Iron Man, Hulk, Thor.
Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor.
Then Captain.
Thor. Yeah.
So, okay, 4. But still, you had barely 4. The knowledge of the MCU and the fact that they were connected was just a bud. Like it was just beginning to blossom. It wasn't even a grown plant. It's just coming out of the dirt whenever Chris Evans first takes the mantle as Cap. So it's like that, and now, obviously, after Endgame, everyone's expecting what they were getting prior to Endgame with Anthony Mackie. So it's like, I understand it is a difference in the case of like where they are at as a franchise, but it really is upsetting because I think Anthony Mackie is such a good actor, and I feel like the character deserves to try to get the time at least to make an attempt to connect to audiences. When you give a guy a 1.5 attempts, because I will not count a buddy cop series 4 or 5 years ago as a full attempt. That is half of him, right? It's half him and half the Winter Soldier. So you're giving him 1.5 attempts, and with a 4 or 5 year gap between to sell himself to the audiences, really, that it screams pathetic to me.
And I think it's funny that the other guy, the guy who took up the mantle as Captain America in that series, is now liked. That was full 180.
Wyatt Russell?
Yeah. Wyatt Russell's character.
Oh gosh, what's his name?
What's he calling himself now?
That makes me mad that I cannot think of his name.
Shoot. I'm on freaking Rotten Tomatoes, so I couldn't tell
He's in Thunderbolts. Hold on, I got it here. U.S. Agent. Gosh, that was bothering me that I couldn't think of. U.S. Agent.
John Walker, U.S. Agent.
Yes.
So I think it's funny that like full 180, people now like John Walker because he's his own guy now. Obviously, he was a likable character to begin with, but he tried to take the mantle, Chris Evans. And I think that a lot of that hate was shared with Anthony Mackie's Captain America as well. he gave away that shield.
Yeah. Well, the difference is like the writing. Like, think about Captain America 4 and you think about Thunderbolts. People love Thunderbolts. People didn't really like Captain America 4. So it's
Right.
just, again, it's not fair. Like, you're going to give one guy a crappy movie and you're going to give the other guy a great one, and you're shocked that you're going to pull the plug on the one that you gave the crappy movie, and you're going to be like, oh, people didn't like him. Duh. Like, it is so sad. Like, I really, the thing is, I wonder if the script were flipped, would they pull the plug on Wyatt Russell? I don't know. Like, that's a question. Like, would they? Is it a case of they don't think Anthony Mackie has the star power or has the acting chops, or is it a case of they're freaking out because he wasn't as popular as Chris Evans was immediately? You know what I mean? Like, that is my question of where do they see this?
Yeah, I'm thinking back to the first Captain America, and then thinking like, if I were to go watch a movie I haven't seen yet, which I'm looking through here, The Marvels, or like Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Assuming I haven't seen that. I haven't seen Eternals. Like, would I get the same awe and starstruck as I did with the storytelling from Captain America: The First Avenger? And I don't think so. And there was a buyout between those movies. Yeah. But I'm thinking that if I sat down, because I've seen portions, I've seen like the clips on social media of these movies, and those scenes are just not good comparatively.
The ones you named, the Marvels and the Eternals are really bad. Like, there's no bad movie, as I said earlier, but comparatively to other Marvel movies, they're not up to the same standard.
Yeah, but I mean, I've even seen like Black Widow and Shang-Chi, which did really well.
Shang-Chi
and those
good.
movies, Shang-Chi got close, but I feel like every scene that I watched Captain America, there was a score that made it feel impactful, that was like, he's larger than life. I want to be him, and I don't want to be Shang-Chi. Like, I don't have a desire, even though he might be the most powerful or whatever with the 10 rings or whatever. Like, I'm looking at that movie, you know.
There's another reason why you might not want to be Shang-Chi, and I think it's because you might not identify with his character, because
perhaps.
that's an audience that is very like, you know what I'm saying? Like in terms of, you would not see yourself in Shang-Chi because you are white. You know, like there's that. Same thing with people.
I still think Black Panther, like, I feel that, like, oh yeah, that's a badass.
Well, there were a lot of people that didn't. There were a lot of people that didn't, though. Like in terms of like, because they couldn't see themselves in the character, and they were like, well, I didn't really think it was great. Well, because you weren't the target audience. Like I hate to say it, like there's a reason that Shang-Chi might not have connected. Now, the thing is and now there's so much subjectivity there, because like I liked both. I liked all of them, right? And like, I'm definitely not the target audience for either of them. But there's a lot of subjectivity there. And I think that, you know, could that be also playing a part? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't want to believe that.
I don't
think they compare, though. If I had to put them side by side and which movie is better, it is Captain America: First Avenger.
I agree. No, for sure. I think I make that point only as like a point of debate. I think preferably, this is heart of hearts, I'm hoping this is all it is. I know there are some people out there who probably will think the way I was describing, which is just awful. But I think, to be completely 100% transparent, I think it's because it's not a movie that people like think should stack up as an MCU movie. It's not to the same standard, and so that's why they didn't like. If they don't like Anthony Mackie, it's because the movie he was in was not what they liked, and it's not necessarily anything else. But point made.
I think Anthony Mackie's Captain America: Brave New World can be attributed to the She-Hulk series. I get that sense of writing quality and quality of the cinematography. I just don't think it's good. I don't want to call it slop, because that's very mean to the people who worked on it.
Right.
But if I had to compare it with all the other MCU movies, it is MCU slop. In its own world of MCU movies, it is the slop.
It tries too hard to be relatable to the young audience, and it tries to be clickbaitable or clickable. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that. It's really just there for shareable moments and fads of the moment, right? Like online. And that sucks, because She-Hulk is a cool character as a lawyer who is defending these superhumans. Like the premise is there. and the idea of like the idea that the Hulk and the gamma absorption is more attributed to the line and the lineage in that family than it
Yeah.
is just that Bruce is someone special. That is cool, and it really like, I think it's okay to say writing is bad. I just don't. I agree with the what I was saying earlier. I don't agree with the premise of a movie is bad because people worked really hard to not make it bad. They didn't set out to make a bad movie. But I think writing is way in line. You could say is bad.
Gimmick farming, I guess. If you watch a
Yeah.
movie for gimmicks, you'll love them, but most don't.
Yeah.
And I don't know why Disney thinks there's money in it.
I don't know. It really, long story short, because we have to move on to our other two reeler fakes and then what you should know and get people out of here. But it is upsetting. It is disrespectful and it is upsetting that they gave Anthony Mackie. I'm gonna just to be completely frank here. They gave him a half-assed attempt. They gave him a half-assed attempt to let him connect to people, and when it failed, they pulled the plug. That's what it looks like, and it is so upsetting because I think Anthony Mackie's a star. I think he's a fantastic actor. I think he's funny, and I liked the arc. I liked that we saw Sam with Steve the entire time. There is the case to be made that it could have been the Winter Soldier, but the Winter Soldier wasn't there when Steve was awoke. You know, when Steve woke up, it was the Falcon.
The whole point is that Bucky is not. He wasn't chosen to become Captain America to begin with. He is not I wouldn't say pure soul or pure of heart or whatever. Like he has his moments, but like he's not Sam Wilson, right? Like that character, right?
Steve picked
he deserved it.
Yeah. Steve picked Sam because he deserved it, but because he believed he could embody what it meant to be Cap. And I don't feel like Disney they completely disregarded that fact, and that's absurd. And so, like, treat him like the leader he was chosen to be and is because you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know that. Anyway, we'll move on. But yeah, there's a lot of mishandling, is what I'll call this, mishandling, and it is sad. We'll move on. At long last, Siri actress Freya Allen almost quit The Witcher after Henry Cavill's exit, telling entertainment outlet NME, quote, "I cried because I wanted to finish the show with the guy who played my adoptive father," which is really sad. Yeah. So real or fake?
I cried too.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to finish the show with the guy who played my adoptive father.
Yeah. You know, once Cavill left because they were going so far off book material, like source material, that things were not great.
Right.
And now this comes the real or fake, because this is something you said actually in our group chat and something I saw other people say in the comments. Real or fake? Either she should have taken her words and left, or Netflix should have just canceled the show after Cavill's exit. With where we're at now after seeing Liam Hemsworth as Geralt.
I hate that for Hemsworth because he didn't do anything wrong. He took a job.
He was fine. Yeah. No, it's not his fault. Like, put that out there.
Yeah.
We are not hating Liam Hemsworth. You can hate Liam Hemsworth for whatever's going on in his private life, because I know there are things with him and Miley Cyrus people don't like. Right. We don't care about that.
This is the same idea of trying to fill shoes that you were not given the chance to fill and are quite large. You were not given enough time to fill these massive size 20 shoes, right? I think this is real, that Netflix should have either canceled or seriously thought about the decision to remove Cavill, because I think you have to weigh those options, and I hope they did in that decision. They obviously chose poorly, but that when you get rid of Cavill, you lose that fan base that follows him from Superman, who love Cavill as a relatable person, because he's not some meathead, or he doesn't just, in terms of real life wise, he resonates, right? A lot of people can get behind his nerdiness, and he's into these different IPs that not a lot of people in Hollywood are into. You know, just don't hear people being into Warhammer 40K in the big leagues, you know. And among many other IPs, including The Witcher. And so I think it's real that Netflix probably should have thought about canceling the show, because I don't think it's getting the viewership that it once was.
Not at all. I will add a third alternative here because I think I wish if she would have stuck to her guns and her original thought and left, then the series probably would have gotten canceled, or at least would have had a better
Yeah.
opportunity to. And
Which
I'm
I
not
don't even know if that would have helped or probably not, but I don't know if that would have hindered it even more. Or,
I will put it this
know.
way: I am happy that for those people who work on that show who make a paycheck
Right.
that feeds their families, I'm happy that the show kept going.
Yeah.
My third alternative to this that I would say is real. Just don't let Cavill walk. How
Right.
hard is that? Like, I think and I know that's like the cop out, that's like the easy answer, but like the guy lives and breathes the IPs, right? He not just in terms of knowledge of the lore, he is Geralt. When you
Yeah.
saw him on screen, there is like, it's hard to disassociate and subtract him from the character. If you think of him outside of the video game, you think, even now, you think of
Yeah.
Henry Cavill. And when you watch Liam Hemsworth, you can't help but think he's trying to be Henry Cavill, not Geralt. So it's like, it's just a matter of when this guy is making points, when this guy is saying, hey, I don't like this, I am your lead, like I am your franchise right now.
Yeah. It carries weight outside of an indie film where he's trying to make changes.
Right. When he looks at you and he says that, and you look at him and you say, don't care, like you're going to do your job. He don't need that job, brother. Like he got other things going on. You treat Henry Cavill just like he's any other actor in SAG. That bothers me. Like it always bothered me. And so I think that's why when I think of should they have thought about canceling the show, when Cavill left because of not just because Netflix would say creative differences. Everyone else will agree he was saying you're going too far off material. This isn't what I signed up for.
Yeah. This is no longer The Witcher. This is Netflix's medieval wizard show.
And when they went off that deep end, that's when they should have thought about canceling, or they should have, let's pull the reins back, let's delay it, and let's make sure we don't lose Cavill. Because now,
alternatively, tell a different story with Hemsworth. It is no longer Geralt.
Right.
That was what I would argue. How does this new Witcher
create a new character?
Fall in line? Because we've seen other Witchers, you know? And so, I don't know, create another main character at that point. That season no longer follows Geralt.
In the mind of, and that I have not watched but maybe an episode or two of the Liam Hemsworth. I thought he did fine. I don't blame him, like we had said.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, dude, after getting through what I got through and I turned it off and I knew I wasn't watching anymore, in my mind, the series was already canceled. The series had been canceled in my mind because it's just not the same. Like you can put the same LUTs, you can do the same fighting style, you can have the same stunt double fighting that was with Cavill now for Liam, so that they look similar when they're in the fight scenes. Does not matter. It just feels like we're playing pretend now. And so in my mind, it's already gone. Like that show was done. And I hate that because the story they had when it was close to IP was so enthralling, and I was so excited to see it continue because it had that Game of Thrones style of epic feel to the conclusion of where they were going, and it's just not happening. It's just gone. So maybe this is something we'll see in like 10 years where they're like, Henry, come back and we'll finish. And so maybe like we'll see him come back and they will do a traditional ending to what story they had, but I think it's dead.
I would attribute it to like the new Fallout series where even Walton Goggins and her name. Ella Purnell, where they're playing the games and pulling like source and they're continuing to, I guess, live and breathe Fallout. There's a point to make there, right? Like if you were to swap out Ella right now and continue the story with someone who hasn't played the games. I don't know if Hemsworth has played the games or not. I'm not cracking on Hemsworth. What I'm saying is you lose Ella and you lose Walton. Either
authenticity.
Where's it go?
Yeah.
Right. These are two individuals who care very deeply about that IP. And I think Fallout would die the same way.
Take notes, Justin Lin. My strength is that I haven't played the game for Helldivers, and I can make the movie.
That was the next point. That was the next point. It's like, how do you even know? Are you going to watch, what is it? What's the other movie
Star
that
Troopers,
actually,
right?
Yeah, he's just going to watch Star Troopers and try to make a Helldivers movie.
I thought, let me make sure that I'm right here. I thought Helldivers was based off of was also kind of a spoof of Spaceballs, but it could be
No.
Starship Troopers as well. Yeah, it is Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
I thought it
But I
was
don't know if
also.
it was
I thought it was
based on
also
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs. Like the comedy was also somewhat Spaceballs, but it definitely is Starship Troopers.
Yeah. So Starship Troopers and Helldivers. Helldivers 2 is heavily inspired by it. What I'm saying is that guy's gonna probably just watch Starship Troopers and call it a day and say, yeah, I got the premise.
So weak. It's such a weak. Like we said the word cop out a lot. Just say you
Yeah.
don't want to play the game, and if you don't want to play the game, you shouldn't be the director.
What I think is like what's odd is Helldivers 2 is not that rich in lore.
Well, kind of. I mean,
You play it and you get it like pretty much the majority of it right up front. And like a lot of the gameplay isn't necessarily rich. It's the small eggs you find
right.
within the game and as you're fed, because this is an ongoing campaign. Helldivers 2 came out
A year
ago, and we're not at the end of the ongoing story. So it's not a story mode as much as you're actively playing a multiplayer game that is progressing in real time. You're fighting a galactic war with 3 different fronts, and the story isn't over yet. We haven't won. They have
It might have
attacked.
been close to 2 years now. Hold on.
Yeah, it's almost 2 years. I think it was almost 2 years. We're definitely in the second year. But they've attacked the homeworld once. We fought them off valiantly. There's big wars that people talk about. The PTSD people are joking that they have from these big battles that we've fought for planets and
Malevelon Creek forever, baby. I was there.
He was there. I was on Oshan, so that was one of the latest ones. People who fought for the Super Earth.
February 8th, 24 is when it released, so it's about to be 2 years.
Yep. So I'm not going to say that the director needs to have played Helldivers to its fullest extent and had fought these wars with everybody, even though it would be cool for him to have done that. It's just, you need to at least know Helldivers 2 if you're going to make a movie.
It's just going to be so disappointing because it's just going to be Starship Troopers again. And it's just going to be with Helldivers skins. But anyway, I think that's a good, we're going to go ahead and get to our last real or fake here.
Jeez.
The Academy ditches ABC, ladies and gentlemen, coming to an agreement with YouTube to bring the Oscars to the streamer in 2029 for its 101st anniversary. The deal will continue through 2033, obviously streaming the event annually. Real or fake? Now this is the end of cable television. Everyone's like, death, it's dead, it's dead. Every new thing is dead. Now this is the new death of cable television.
Compounding thing until these, it's going to be the new antenna, right? Or what is that? That's not cable, right? That's
no, antenna was satellite, but
satellite.
Yeah.
It's just going to be that.
Yeah.
It's never going to actually end. It's just going to be those guys who can't. It's going to drop. I don't know.
I agree with fake, and I'll tell you why. We're going in a circle, baby. Cable's coming back. I hate to break it to you. There's going to be some deal where some new carrier, like let's say Dish. Dish is like, we got to change the game. How do we do it? Let's create a service that you can get all the streamers' content in one, and then you can flip through them. Like it's literally going to just be. It's just gonna be cable again. I'm telling you, because what has been the biggest complaint for the last decade? There's too many streamers. That's all too expensive. Where there is a demand, there's going to be a product that follows to meet demand because someone wants to make a lot of money. You know what the product is that people are demanding without outright demanding it? Cable. That's what they're asking for. They're wanting one streamlined service that has all of it together, and they'll pay one monthly price for Netflix, for HBO Max, which will be the same thing at some point, Amazon, Apple TV, ESPN, and Disney, and all that. Dish is going to come through and be like, we're not Dish TV anymore. We're Dish streaming. We bundle it all together, baby. Come on. And that's what it's going to be. So the reason that this is false, why I call this fake, is because we're just going to resort back, and then YouTube's going to be on there and all the fun stuff. So no, cable will not die because cable will be reborn. Throw the baby into the fire, the witch style. Here they come. Like I'm telling you. They didn't throw a baby into the fire in The Witch, by the way. They grinded it up. But
Oh,
that's neither here
that's
nor
better.
there. Yeah. Didn't feel a thing. But that's neither here nor there.
I have an idea for a streamer, but I'm not gonna tell y'all because y'all don't want anybody stealing it.
You
But
can tell me out there.
I called Ryan at work. And I was like, "Yo, Ryan, I got a crazy idea."
Yeah. And I was like, oh, tell me.
Down, so I kind of forgot half of it, but
It's okay. It's a good idea. Anyway, that is real or fake. And now we tell you our final thoughts of what you should know before you go. We have 6 quick headlines. Now, what you should know before you go for our new listeners, this is a quick segment where we go through the other headlines that happened this past week, things that one sentence, one off, one quick little discussion about it is more than enough to cover what it is, but we thought you should know about it because it's so interesting. So we're going to go through 6 of those quick headlines, and then we'll let you guys go after 2 hours. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, this is a bit longer than what we like to go, but we've had a lot to say tonight. Huh?
Christmas special.
Woo! Anyway, Daisy Ridley and Rupert Grint have officially been cast in Ty West's Johnny Depp starring A Christmas Carol adaptation. Sony Pictures acquires the Peanuts franchise for $457 million. Along with Sony Music Entertainment Japan, the company buys Wild Brain's 41% stake in the IP, leaving Sony with 80% ownership. The Scholes family continues to own the remaining 20%. Amazon and Netflix agree to a deal that sees a large slate of high-profile 007 films become available on the world's leader in streaming. Kiri, daughter of Jake Sully and Neytiri, will become the lead character of Avatar 4, according to actress Sigourney Weaver, stating in an interview with Jake's Takes, quote, "Well, I narrate the next one. It's a major part of the saga for Kiri. I found out like 12 years ago." So she's known like right after the first one that she was going to do this, which is kind of funny. But anyway, James Gunn officially cast Lars Eidinger. I've never heard of this man before in my life. Lars Eidinger as the Brainiac in Man of Tomorrow, the main villain we've seen concept footage or concept art where we see both Lex and Soups kind of team up a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be Lars Eidinger on the other side of that. And lastly, the Odyssey teaser trailer just dropped today. We see our first look at Benny Safdie as we just talked about this right before the show, and now it's been 2 hours and my brain forgot it.
Agamemnon.
There we go. Benny Safdie plays Agamemnon. He looks brooding, he looks huge, and he kind of looks spooky behind the mask. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what you should know before you go. So, Jake, tell me which 1 or 2, maybe 3 hit that sweet spot that piques your interest.
Yay, more big names in A Christmas Carol, I guess. So we'll get to see some. This is live action, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this will be good. So they are. Who will they be playing? Daisy Ridley and Rupert Grint.
They didn't say. At least I didn't dig that deep into seeing, but there are
probably
spirits.
The mom.
Maybe.
Oh.
Well, I don't know.
Timmy
really,
and
probably,
Rupert Grint.
Yeah. You know what? They could be married. The married couple to Timmy.
Yeah, the mom and dad of Timmy.
Yeah, they could be.
And then Rupert's like the worker for Johnny Depp that he's mean to.
Yes.
I like where that's going. I think that'd be good.
I agree.
But and then dive into the Avatar 4. I think you're the better one to talk about that. But so Sigourney's stating in the interview that she narrates the next one, but she's known for 12 years. So
essentially she's known the story for a long time, and she knows that after what we saw in Fire and Ash, that she knew she was going to be the next step for her character Kiri. Is going to be narrating. And the way that they've done each one I like thus far is like a different character has narrated, or at least seemingly. If I remember correctly, in the second one, is it the son that died that narrated it? Was he the narrator? Or was it Loak that was the narrator in the second one? So Loak is the narrator in the third one. Like, so the son that survived, and it's kind of his perspective on his family and the whole situation.
Jake,
but they
Loak. Yeah.
Oh, so okay,
narrated.
He did. That makes sense because it's one story. So Loak narrated 2 and 3, and I felt like it was really well done. And now Kiri has a huge revelation. Kiri kind of figures out a little bit more about her own backstory, and you see the depth of her power as kind of like a very being very intimate with their religion, right? And so she does a lot of really cool things, and in many ways she is the hero of a lot of events that happen. Not the hero, but a hero in terms of certain events, and that is so vague for a reason because I want you guys to go see it. So naturally, the follow through with that, I think there's going to be like an 8-year like gap between the timeline between 3 and 4. So in theory, we're going to get it. Seeing her next step as she becomes a like grows up, now knowing kind of like not just the extent of her backstory, but kind of like that she has this power that we kind of see a little bit in 2, or they hint at in 2. We see kind of come to fruition and developed a little bit more in 3. I'm excited to see what happens next with that. I really look forward to Kiri as the main character in 4. But yeah, so for me, what really catches my eye with this, obviously we could talk a little bit. We'll before we leave, we'll show why we put the Odyssey teaser trailer in here. But the idea that Sony can now Sony's on a hot streak, okay, in their animation department. You think of not just the Spider-Verse films, but they were also the company that made K-pop Demon Hunters. They just sold it to Netflix. That's why it's a Netflix movie. Fantastic, right? Like all these different like they have done a lot of really cool stuff, and I would love to see the Peanuts make some sort of comeback culturally. Like they're always been around, and they've kind of like you think of like Snoopy's a popular like icon in terms of like iconography throughout pop culture. You see Snoopy, you see Joe Cool, and so like I would love to see Peanuts as a franchise make a bump. I want to see them come back. I want to see them have a full new movie. Like
Snoopy's huge in Japan too.
Yeah, and it makes sense
This
they would
helps.
buy. Yeah. So I want to see. And that's the thing too, is like if you do release this, you already have that culturally. You have that international audience that's waiting for you. So you're not just making domestic, because I think that there still is an audience here for that. Not just families, because it's a family feature. So you're gonna make like there's an opportunity there for a lot of money. But there are fanatics who love. I have a good friend who loves Snoopy, like just
Girlfriend included.
Loves Snoopy. So if they make a really cutesy, very well done animation in the Sony, like the way they make films in the Sony brand,
I want to see a full Red Baron.
Oh
movie.
my gosh, that'd be awesome. Like and plus like the animation, or not the animation, the imagination that these kids have as they're playing, and like I just think it'd just be fun. Like it just would be fun for this. So I see that, and I see Sony buying 80%. And while it is kind of sad to see like another conglomerate buying up another like loved IP, I feel like this is a good one, actually. Like I feel like this is a hot streak. I love the way that Sony creates features. Their style is very specific, and I think that it looks really well done. So I like that. I don't know. I want to see more of this. And in this case, the fact that a conglomerate owns it, like Sony, means that there's more opportunity for it to get a worldwide big release with a big movie. And I like that. So of the like the last thing I'll talk about before we get to the Odyssey, shocking to seeing Amazon and Netflix agree to a deal that sees 007 to Netflix. What is happening? Like, I guess it makes sense. Amazon's trying to make money while they're waiting on their stuff to be made because it's taking forever and a day. But golly, Jeff sold his so quick with the Amazon, or with the 007 bot, and Jeff Bezos meaning. So, I mean, good for them. They're making a buck, and it's more available because I guess because those who don't have Amazon have Netflix, maybe. But I don't know.
Amazon Prime is
pretty cheap.
It's not going to get you everything on Prime though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I guess you're
right. I pay for Prime to get packages. That don't give me much on Prime Video.
I mean, you get all the Prime originals, which is really what you're there for. Like I pay for Prime.
I can't get Pluribus because I don't have Apple TV, but I think it's on Prime, isn't it?
You could buy it on Prime probably, which is the same difference. But I really, again, anyway, we'll move on because we could talk about Pluribus for another hour. But lastly, we'll talk about the Odyssey because we wanted to show you guys this because I talked about Benny Safdie as a bleeding figure. We ready for this?
Yeah. Please end it. No.
There we go. Look at that guy.
I think it's just a helmet.
That still looks. That's intimidating.
Oh yeah, hold on.
I'm holding.
This is the guy who was in Happy Gilmore 2 who had bad breath.
Oh wait, I think I
This
know.
guy is the helmet does him more justice.
Yes, yes, yes. Or he's just a good actor. I mean,
Right.
we know Benny Safdie, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I that's spooky looking, man. Like,
Like I said, I think it's the helmet.
I mean, yeah, but like I'm excited to see where this goes. Anyway,
Oh, it looks good.
yeah.
I just said it was dark and brooding, and I was like, I don't remember Benny being dark and brooding.
Okay,
He
you're
plays a
right.
good
This is
antagonist
not
for like a Happy Gilmore, but yeah, that
this
is.
is not dark and brooding. You're right.
No.
But this is.
Yeah.
Anyway, any final thoughts before we let the people go?
Sorry for keeping you so long.
Listen, guys, Merry Christmas. Have a happy holidays. Be safe. Stay warm. Drink eggnog if you like eggnog. If not, drink milk. If you don't like milk, I don't know. Just figure it out. Eat cookies. Have a good time. Tell your
Hot
family.
cocoa. If you don't do hot cocoa,
You're out of luck. All right.
beer.
Yeah. Anyway, tell your family we said hello and to watch Beyond the Screen. And we will see you guys next week on the last episode of 2025.
Crazy.
Crazy business. See you guys. Bye-bye.
My glasses rub my nose.